Hello, everybody. Welcome to WarpCast. My name is Tyler.
My name is Richard.
My name's James. All right, so what'd y'all think about Multiverse Madness?
I think it was. I think as a person who loves Dungeons and Dragons and like magic, I think it was really great. I think it's probably one of my least favorite Marvel movies.
So obviously, Tyler's opinion doesn't matter in this scenario.
No, I think it's great. I just don't view it as a Marvel movie.
I think that's what makes it a great movie is that it doesn't follow the same Marvel-like outline.
Yeah. Well, I love the magic that was presented in it.
So we're going to talk about spoilers, right?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
just gonna hop in.
Can't talk about a movie without spoilers.
Yeah, of course not.
Of course you can't.
Like Necromancy Strange and the cloak that he did, I could just picture that like on a magic card or something, and that really hit that sweet spot for me.
I really like art of that, all the hands and stuff.
Yeah, like it's just I don't know, it's a good visual, and I just like I said, if you just took screenshots of parts of Strange and put them on magic cards, it wouldn't jar me in any way.
I think Zombie Strange would be great for a magic card.
I think it'd be awesome.
Because he's he's one of the coolest characters.
I would really love to see like a
or like
Magic set.
or Agent Carter cut in half. That's what I really like to see.
It's got partner mechanic.
Agent Carter's legs, Agent Carter's front part. I don't know, torso, whatever. So yeah, I really liked it. I really liked that they went a different direction. They made it more dark. I really liked that Black Adam, he just like got killed. Like he's dead.
You know,
if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. But and I love that John Krasinski is dead. You know, he's only one of my favorite actors. I love that he's dead. I love that Professor X died for the third time in Marvel franchise. But yet, it still all made sense and was like very refreshing movie to me. But there was rumors that Ghost Rider would be in this movie.
That show, Inhumans, apparently the dude who played Black Bolt is from Inhumans.
No, I said Black Adam. I'm a freaking idiot. I meant Black Bolt.
Yeah.
Edit that. Don't make me look stupid.
Editor! Don't make me look stupid. No, but I think it was great. I loved it, but like I said, it just like I don't know, it didn't scratch that like typical Marvel movie itch for me. But it's definitely something I loved seeing from like again, that kid who grew up reading like Lord of the Rings and loving fantasy so much. And it really felt nice to finally have that representation from it, I guess. Raimi's always been a great film director from Evil Dead, the original Spider-Man trilogy. I like seeing those Evil Dead references sprinkled throughout as well.
Honestly, Drag Me to Hell, that was probably the best one, But, yeah, I thought it was a great movie. I was really hoping to see more cameos, though. I was really hoping to see some of the more darker people, like...
Iron Man was supposed to be in it. It was supposed to be that Tom Cruise. But it didn't happen because of scheduling.
And I bet Tom Cruise also had a little bit to do to that. He's like, gotta do Maverick right now. Gotta be Maverick for Top Gun.
He was filming a movie.
They're making a Top Gun?
It was Top Gun Maverick.
It was Top Gun during COVID.
Bro, I got a question. Do you really not know about Top Gun coming out? It literally comes out this weekend.
No, dead ass?
It was a literal commercial in front of the Multiverse of Madness.
It definitely was.
Not the South Carolina one. It
He's
was
like, I drove.
It was literally like Minions 2, like something else, and then the movie. And I had like no commercials.
Top Gun Maverick. That was the other one.
Probably. But there was an empty seat, and it was supposed to be him in it.
Really?
In the Illuminati.
Who would he have been?
I was really hoping
Iron Man. Tom Cruise is the original person that was going to be Iron Man.
Well, I was really hoping to see like Ghost Rider or where they like hinted at Blade and
Daredevil.
Well, Daredevil I would like to see him again. But did you see at the end of Eternals where they're like hinted at?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name though. Black Knight. That was it. Something like that. I don't know. I don't care enough to like research it and be right for this podcast. This is our first one. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was Black Knight.
Black Knight. Okay, I was right. But yeah, I'm excited for that future though, because we got Moon Knight coming. That was like amazing, loved, definitely my favorite Marvel show. Then we went on to, and then Daredevil's now in the thing because of Spider-Man, and then we got Blade because you heard his voice at the end. Plus, they've confirmed it, and then Black Knight, and then it's like I'm ready for Ghost Rider. Where's he at? And that's what I was hoping to have in this movie is Ghost Rider cameo. So he just come through and like, Cha. But then,
would you want it to be Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider? Or
yeah, definitely
else?
Nicolas Cage. It would have been great if it was Nicolas Cage.
He's a really great actor. He did
He's a really great actor.
He's a really great actor. He did that movie about a couple years ago, about like truffle hunting, and it was really good because he like lost this pig that helps him truffle hunt.
Truffle hunt.
Like searching for mushrooms and stuff.
What was the name of this movie? Was it called Pig? There was a movie called Pig.
I think it might have been Pig, yeah.
There was a movie called Pig. I should have watched it. I really want to see Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland?
That one I definitely want to see.
Yeah, it was. You were right. It was Pig.
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh, I watched it, didn't meet up.
I haven't watched it yet because I want to watch it.
Oh, I watched it not sober, and it was really funny.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it, but I haven't. Like, it took me 6 months to watch Halloween, just because I get too bad anxiety watching scary movies.
Halloween Kills.
Yeah. Halloween Kills, which But yeah, I really thought it was a good movie. I really liked that they were willing just to kill people off and like they're
gruesome too.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, let's do Evil Dead and just mix it into Marvel. Because even like Army of Darkness vibes with those like demons that were trying to grab Doctor Strange. I really like that. They look
visual is so good.
Yeah, they really look like things that would come from Army of Darkness, which is probably my favorite horror movie franchise. Is the Evil Dead movies. I love them.
That dude who played in Ash vs. Evil Dead did the cameo, right?
Yeah, he's in every Sam Raimi movie.
That's crazy. Really? What was he in Spider-Man?
He was Mysterio technically.
He was like a clerk or something.
Yeah, he was the wrestler. He was the guy who was doing the wrestling, like the umpire in the first one. Can't remember what he was in the second one.
He was Mysterio?
He was supposed to be. He was supposed to be getting arrested in Spider-Man 4. And at the beginning of it, he was supposed to get arrested, and he was going to be Mysterio. Is what we found out.
That's really cool. I like that. I like the thought. Well, I thought the fourth one was supposed to be about Carnage, though.
It was. I mean, he wasn't going to be a main character. He was just going to be another cameo because every Sam Raimi movie has a cameo of Ash, pretty much.
Oh, so he would have been
Campbell.
like Mysterio, and Spider-Man would already beat him, and he would just
basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like the Rhino thing from Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh.
Too.
The amazing looking Rhino.
The
amazing Spider-Man 2. But I will say, like, I was putting down, hands down, my favorite Marvel movie still probably is, Spider-Man No Way Home. But I love this movie a lot. I do think it definitely took a different direction and made it more grounded. And I think they're really evolving with the people that's grown up with Marvel. Because when the first Marvel movie came out, which was Iron Man, I was 7 years old. I'm 21 now. So that is one of those things that's like, it's evolving, and I really think that's a good thing for it to evolve with the audience that's been growing up with the Marvel movies.
Yeah, I think I really liked Moon Knight kind of for that reason, because I felt like it was interesting to kind of dive deep into the insanity aspect of it, versus like we never would have seen that like years ago. They never would have touched either of these last two projects that they've done. They never would have touched on anything near as close as this. Yeah. I think the closest we've gotten was probably the original X-Men trilogy, was them killing off people, and Logan, of course.
Yeah, which wasn't even Marvel Studios, like, and that's what I really like, that Marvel Studios is now realizing, hey, we're at a point now where we're kind of our own thing. We can make movies more for adults, more teen, adult oriented, rather than having to be family friendly for everything. Like, we don't have to Disneyfy everything we do. Which
is good, because I do like the balance between, like, No Way Home was, without a doubt, still a very Marvel-like movie.
Still great.
It was
amazing.
That's what I'm saying. It's my favorite Marvel movie, but you compare that to Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, it's just it's too different. There's no way to compare them.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference there where we're at a point which I'm glad, like with Shang-Chi, it was more like a martial arts movie, and like Marvel's been doing that a lot, but it's really changed up for Phase 4. Like Phase 4 is now you had a action movie, then you have a martial arts action movie, you have a horror movie, you have a team up movie, you have Eternals, which is garbage movie. You always gotta have that one in there, but still, it's like I'm just excited to see where the future goes with Doctor Strange, with these other characters. Hopefully, Ghost Rider's coming soon, with Blade and all this, because now we've seen what Marvel's willing to push out there and what they're willing to do. I'm like, oh, Blade, they're going to work Blade out. There's going to be, there might not be as much blood and stuff as we want, but I see them taking Blade in a more PG-13 direction like they took this one.
I'm interested to see how they handle Love and Thunder, because I'm wondering now, is Love and Thunder going to play it safe, or are they going to actually
I personally think that Love and Thunder will play it safe, but kind of like Ragnarok, where it played it safe, but it was very funny, still kid friendly and stuff, but it still had a few jokes in there for the parents.
I do agree a bit. I think they're too scared to mess with Thor right now, because those first 2 Thor movies are not the best.
We are not going to get into that. I can rant all day about those.
One of my friends said that Thor: The Dark World, they'd rather watch it 5 times over than watch Ragnarok again.
Okay, that person is insane. Because I actually cannot tell you everything that happens in Thor: The Dark World. I can't even tell you the villain's name. I did not.
I can.
Every time
because I played Lego Marvel Superheroes. His name's Malika.
Only when I go back and rewatch the Marvel movies, I do not rewatch Thor in the Dark World, because I'm just like, it's boring. I do not feel like watching it. I'll go through and watch a YouTube video that explains it in 5 minutes, and that's what I do.
How often do you rewatch the Marvel movies?
Just about every time a new one comes out.
Oh
I'm just kidding. Most of the time, I just rewatch them once every few years or so. Just start over. There's a few, but I always get refreshers because I'm always watching other videos on YouTube and stuff where it's all things you might have missed out in Iron Man or something like that, or hey, things you might want to know before so and so comes out, so you can get that refresher. Now, granted, with Doctor Strange, that would have been one that I'd be okay, I'll rewatch Doctor Strange. I'm not going to rewatch Doctor Strange and Infinity War and Endgame and Spider-Man and everything just to get back so I know the whole story. It was one of those things where I'm you can watch Doctor Strange. You don't have to watch Spider-Man to know, because they pretty much tell you what they know from Spider-Man.
You gotta watch WandaVision, though.
Yeah, you do definitely need to watch. You don't have to. You can watch the Cliff Notes version, but WandaVision, in my opinion, was still a good show. I talk crap about it because, it did hit that point of where the Marvel shows hit.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good, but then they just don't stick the landing ever. Loki, that's the point. Loki did. Honestly, think Moon Knight hit the landing, but
I really like the way they set up the future with Moon Knight.
I would have wanted another episode. I feel like an episode 7 was almost necessary.
When I watched, I really wish they would have pushed it out 8 episodes, because I really wish that last episode would have went from just being that to being more. But I was very happy with how it ended. I was very happy with what we got. But I also do feel like we built we kept building just to get the villain for one episode and then gone. Episode 5, best Marvel episode ever. Ever, period. But then we get episode 6 and it's just probably the best Marvel thing we've ever received, period. Even in-game and stuff was not as good as that episode 5 character development and the acting and everything in that episode. That episode was so good.
From a writing standpoint, I do agree. I think No Way Home was a little bit more hype for me personally.
Well, No Way Home is I have never been so excited for a movie in my life as I was for No Way Home. I had bought my tickets literally the day they came out. I've never done that in my whole entire life for a movie. And then that movie, I was like, I'm going to go see it as soon as it comes out. I found the soonest showing I could to have the best seats, and I got that showing, and we went and seen it. And I was super hyped. I was cheering when Andrew came out. I was cheering when Toby came out. I was cheering when they were together. I was cheering when everyone else was cheering. I was crying when MJ almost died. I was crying when Aunt May died. I was crying when Peter's like, hey, Happy, and he's like, who are you, you idiot? I was crying and everything. It was a great movie. I loved it. It was definitely my childhood coming all the way up to now, being like, okay, this is like our magnum opus for Spider-Man. There's not going to be nothing better than this. I don't see how they could ever top it, but if they did top it, it'd be whatever. But I just don't see them topping a Spider-Man movie like that. That was the best Spider-Man movie you could ever produce.
I think for me personally, if I had to go by like rewatchability in terms of that aspect, I think I'd probably put Spider-Verse a little bit above it.
Like the Spider-Verse, like the animated movie? Mm-hmm. Definitely. Loved it. Such a good movie. I think
for me, that one just like...
It had a very good story, but also they were able to pull... Like, with animation, you can do a whole lot more than I feel like you could with live action.
Yeah.
But with the live action, the stuff they were able to pull, the people they were able to pull from, I just feel like that was, like, the best thing they could have done.
Oh, yeah. Live action-wise, it's definitely better. I'm just saying, like, for me, Spider-Verse just, like... I don't know. I liked Miles so much as a character.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I'm really glad Homecoming never did the Uncle Ben thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I was so kind of... I think everybody was kind of sick of that same song and dance.
I do really like that it took a 3 chapters to finish the first part of that story. And I'm very excited for the future for Spider-Man.
I mean, have y'all heard that fact that like the reason he doesn't use the advanced suit anymore is because he got all of his like stuff wiped. It like the suit doesn't recognize his facial anymore. Yeah. That's I remember finding out about that. I loved that.
Well, he had to make his original suit.
Yeah, it was so good.
And I really do think I'm really excited for the future. I'm excited for Multiverse, for the Spider-Verse 2 or whatever it's called. Into the Spider-Verse or whatever. I think it's Into the Spider-Verse. Even though it got pushed back, I'm excited for that. It got pushed back till next year, I think. So I'm still excited for that though. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for Love and Thunder. The Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in there, which I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the actors in it. I love everything about it, and they're going to be in it. But I'm feeling like they're just going to be in it for a little bit. I loved Ragnarok. It is definitely probably the most rewatchable Marvel movie for me.
Which, No Way Home? Or?
No, definitely Ragnarok. I think that's the most rewatchable for me, just because of how it can just... You don't have to see anything else to see that. Like, with No Way Home, it's definitely... Yeah, I can sit here and watch it, but I'm like, if I want to sit down with a friend and watch it, they're going to be like... They didn't watch Toby and they didn't watch Andrew, then they're going to be like, oh, what's this, you know? It's definitely... I think Ragnarok has the most rewatchability, plus Taika Waititi. I'm such a big fan of Taika Waititi. I love his shows. I love his movies. I love everything he's done. He's super funny. He's such a cool dude in real life. He's a guy I would want to meet. There's very few people I would want to meet in real life, and he's one of them.
What do you think of and circling back to Guardians a little bit? What do you think of James Gunn and like Peacemaker and all that?
That is, oh my gosh.
Did you like Peacemaker?
Peacemaker was.
Never watched Peacemaker.
Oh my gosh. Richard missed out. But Peacemaker is so good. I have the theme song on my playlist. Is probably one of the best DC things. See, DC's getting a bad rap, right? But DC has this last year produced some of the best stuff they've ever produced in their lives. They made The Batman, which I'm pretty sure... Have you seen it?
Yeah.
So we all seen it. We all know it was amazing and great. Definitely, if you missed out on the theater, you're not going to enjoy it as much as you probably would at home, because the theater experience was probably the best. Because seeing it on the big screen is, in my opinion, always better for a movie to make a bigger impact on you, but super great. Then you seen Suicide Squad. literally probably one of the best. James Gunn is a great director. He knows what he's doing with characters, and that movie was so good. It was so funny. I was not a fan of Peacemaker though. I wasn't when we watched the movie, and
You're talking about Suicide Squad?
yeah, but then when he was able to turn Peacemaker from a character I did not really care about into a character I love now. Like, when those pops come out, I'm going to get every pop because that's how much I love it.
Vigilante is probably one of mine.
Oh, definitely.
His banter and, like, the way they actually, like... Because I feel like, and I mean this in a nicer way, I feel like James Gunn has a really good handle on how, like, that Marvel gag and banter way is, but he does it in so much more of, like, a tasteful way that it's not annoying on rewatches. Like, you don't sit there in Guardians 1 and 2 and, like, groan at their jokes.
Yeah.
But if you're rewatching like Homecoming or something, sometimes you're like, oh, that one didn't land quite as well.
Well, and that's the thing with James Gunn I really like is he appreciates the smaller people. Like he brought Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy before James Gunn brought him to the Marvel, and I'm like, and then he made them a household name. He made them a team that people love seeing. They're on shirts. They're on, different things. They're on lunchboxes. You like an Iron Man. You expect, you expect a Spider-Man. You expect that, but you don't expect Guardians of the Galaxy, a comic book that I've never heard of. Like Richard, have you ever heard of them before that?
No, I've not.
Tyler? No, so nobody ever heard of them before this, but yet then James Gunn was able to just jump in there, make it, and the same thing with Suicide Squad. Like we've seen it fail. Like we all seen
Really
that
bad.
awful DC movie that they're like, yeah, and then he still was able to take some of those characters out of that movie and put them into a good movie, and you're like, holy crap, I actually enjoy Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Like Birds of Prey, I was like, Birds of Prey was pretty good, but I didn't want to watch it because I was like, it's going to be the same girl from Suicide Squad, which was not a great movie. I don't know if I want to see it. But Birds of Prey, then I waited. It came out. I watched it on DVD or whatever. And it was good. And I was like, man, I'm over here judging this. And then I'm like, let me watch Suicide Squad because I'm excited because of James Gunn. I would have not watched it if it wasn't for James Gunn. If people, like, in my opinion, if people did not know James Gunn was attached, the movie wouldn't have done as good as it did. And it still didn't do nearly as good as it should have because it is honestly... In my opinion, I think it's my favorite DC movie ever produced.
This is a weird question, but I do want to ask both of you guys. Do you think comic books, or not comic books, but like comic book movies in general, are becoming more niche to the point where like they're starting to alienate certain people?
I think actually the opposite has happened, where there's people who. I think we're at a point now where comic book movies and superheroes and stuff like that is such a norm now. Like, there's so many more coming out than there was. Like, because look at Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Marvel. You were getting a movie maybe every
About 2
years, yeah. Stuff like that. Then you started turning into 2 a year, 3 a year. Now we're getting 4 a year plus the Marvel shows. And now I'm thinking it is becoming... Yeah, I think it's really hard for certain people to be able to jump into... Like, go and watch Multiverse of Madness. I think it's hard to be able to just jump in that. That's the great thing about Multiverse of Madness is it was able to stand on its own. And it did not have to worry about the rest of the Marvel world. Yeah, it had a few things you needed to know. But, like, you didn't have to go in there knowing that Spider-Man happened. You didn't have to know that. You didn't have to know that Doctor Strange 1 happened. You didn't have to know some of this other stuff. You didn't have to know Infinity War happened. Now, granted, knowing that would have made more of the certain spots of the movie make more sense to you. But I definitely don't think it was something you needed to know. And I think it's getting harder on people because the like it went from 23 movies, now we're at like 28 movies or something that you need to watch every Marvel movie, not including 5 different TV shows that are Disney Plus exclusives that you have to watch to know all the Marvel stuff. Plus, not even including the little shorts and not including the Netflix shows and all that. So I think it is like alienating those people who are like just now finding out about it. But I don't think it's alienating them to a point where they're not going to watch, because obviously people are watching. Like, people watched Endgame. It's obviously the biggest movie. It was one of the biggest movies of all time. People were able to watch it, but I do think we're at a different point now. Now with like Spider-Man, it was still one of the biggest movies of all time. It's the movie that brought back theaters after the pandemic, is what, that's what people are saying. And I do think that it was definitely a movie that, like, helped because of nostalgic feelings. Same thing with Endgame. Some people saw Iron Man 1, but they never seen any of the rest. But then they went and seen that movie because everyone was talking about it. And I think they felt a little alienated with that, where they're just like, oh, I need to watch so many movies. But yet, Marvel's doing a really good job at trying to make these movies stand alone, where you didn't have to see it. Now, yes, you need to know the snap occurred for anything in Phase 4, but knowing the snap occurred, if you don't know the snap occurred, then you're an idiot because you didn't watch Endgame, and you're the only person who hasn't watched Endgame, because literally it was the biggest grossing movie of all time.
Do we know when Moon Knight is in the series right now?
Moon Knight technically is not part of Marvel right now.
It's separated.
It's technically
really?
separate, but
It's separated from the MCU.
which
Really?
it from what they're talking is it's separated, but the speculation is that it's going to be put into a spot as soon as they get through, because they wanted to, for an Emmy award or some kind of award.
Oh, they wanted an award show for it.
Yeah, they wanted to put it on an award show for it. So they wanted.
What's his
that.
name? What was the guy's name who did it? I'm just gonna call him Poe from Star Wars.
Oh
God, his performance was
he did
so stellar.
Mark Spector and Steven.
We don't know his name.
Crap, what is his name?
What's his name?
Oscar.
Figure out his name.
Oscar Isaac. That's
Oscar
it.
Isaac.
Oscar
I knew it was
Isaac.
Oscar
Oscar
something.
Isaac has played in other movies, and they've been good. He is a very good actor. I personally could not play 3 different roles.
He was good in
Spoiler
Dune.
alert. Spoiler alert.
He was
3
in
different
X-Men.
roles.
He was really good in Dune. I liked him in Dune.
This is a controversial topic, but I have not seen Dune.
He's going to be in the new Spider-Verse movie.
Oh yeah, he plays one
Yeah,
of
he
the,
voice acts one of the guys.
he voice
was
acts
in the original.
2099.
No.
Oh, the older?
Oh, he
No,
voices
he's
2099. I thought you were gonna say the 19.
Noir
is
is
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have shout out to Nick.
Shout out to Nick.
But
Shout out to the boy Nick.
but
For
yeah,
Pig.
Who-
yeah, if you guys don't know,
What are
they
you
just
trying to
unplugged.
find out?
I'm trying to find out who he was in X-Men.
It just says
He was Apocalypse?
no. There's no way
Yeah, he was
Oscar Isaac was
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
next
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He was.
What?
So, if you guys don't know about me and Richard, we own a trading card store together. It's called Flashpoint Games. It's located in North Carolina. It's in a small town called Jonesville. So, if you guys ever are in the area, you can always stop by and visit us.
Stop by and dox us.
But so this is where our expertise is, as in trading cards. Plus, we know a lot about Marvel. We're pretty big nerds, obviously, if we're going to spend all of our time at a trading card store and make that a business and hopefully one day a career for us. So we're going to move into trading cards right now. We're going to talk a little bit about MetaZoo, a lot about Magic, because there's a lot of stuff that came out about Magic. So let's just jump right into the Magic right quick.
So, with today, as we're recording this, May 12th. Gosh, it's really late in the year. We just had our sneak peek of Double Masters 2022, Dominaria United. They teased something called Project Lacrosse and a couple other things, and we also got our release dates for Warhammer precons coming to Magic, which, as a person who loves 40K and has dedicated a lot of time to learning about 40K, I love the fact that we're finally getting news about it, because that was announced in late 2020.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
I'm very excited about this because the secret lair is going to be orcs. I play orcs in 40K when I do play, but I do play orcs. I'm really excited about these decks coming out too, though. I'm really excited that they're going to give them their own thing. They're not putting out a set with these decks or anything like that. They're just putting out decks. They're putting out a secret lair. They're putting out a few other things, and that's it. And then, so I think that's really great to give it its own standalone, so you don't have to worry about, like with me being a D&D fan, I collected that whole set.
Yeah,
Forgotten Realms, yeah. But now I don't have so much to collect with me being a Warhammer fan. And these Warhammer people might give them that open door to go into Warhammer.
I really don't want a Warhammer set. I know that's what they're gonna push. Eventually, I hope they don't. I really don't want a set where I have to set collect 40k. I would probably end up doing it, but it just sounds like such a pain. I don't feel like it would sell well compared to like, because I feel like even with that Lord of the Rings expansion that's coming up at some point, what was it? When
early 2023.
Yeah, 2023. I feel like that sells better because it's still in that fantasy realm. But like even if they did Sigmar, I still feel like it's too jarring and it's too different for them to do anything with.
I'll say this. So I said this when The Walking Dead came out. I definitely thought The Walking Dead did not fit with Magic necessarily. Like, yeah, it had zombies, but Magic has zombies. Yes, that's the only correlation. Lord of the Rings has so much that builds from Magic, or Magic builds from it.
Yeah, Magic.
And same thing, like even like they did that secret lair for, what was it? Stranger Things. I definitely don't think Stranger Things is something that correlates, but Stranger Things has teamed up with Wizards of the Coast for D&D because they have a D&D thing, but I don't think that Stranger Things necessarily correlates with Magic just because it has humans. I'm like, How I Met Your Mother has humans in it, but I don't think that should be a Magic set, you know?
Well, like, you know, on building on that too, they confirmed that there would be like in-universe characters to do the same things as Stranger Things kids do. Like,
yeah,
from the Secret Lair. And I feel like that's what the big Walking Dead problem was, is they didn't say, okay, we're going to make this into a Magic card later. So if you don't like the Secret Lair and you don't want to support us doing a crossover, you can just wait.
Yeah, and kind of like what they did with Godzilla. I thought that was a really cool idea, really smart.
Godzilla's tasteful.
And with Dracula, I thought that was a really smart idea what they did with Dracula. But then, I mean, like, I see why people was mad about The Walking Dead, but I do also see, like, this was not the best idea. Just like I think they would have been better off, like Street Fighter. I think they would have been better off with Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat has that different lore, all that stuff about, you know, spellcasters and necromancy and stuff like that, rather than Street Fighter does. And I definitely do think that, you know, it don't, like, that's the thing. I just really wish Street Fighter was not the one that they would have picked for that next big thing. But I am excited to see where they go with this stuff. I would love to see like Ninja Turtles and stuff now that things are just being pushed out. But I honestly just don't feel like Street Fighter, Stranger Things, all this other stuff was the right direction for some of that stuff.
Something I'm a little concerned with is how close Double Masters is to Baldur's Gate.
That is definitely going to be a pain, because everybody's going to spend all their money on Baldur's Gate, or we're going to push, try to get Baldur's Gate out. As a store owner, it's going to be kind of a pain, because we're going to get all this Baldur's Gate out, and then the next weekend or the weekend after is going to be Double Masters. So it's like all these people who have money, who like get a check monthly or whatever their situation is, they're going to spend a lot of money on Baldur's Gate, or they're not going to spend a lot of money on Baldur's Gate, and then they're going to do Double Masters, because we're going to have a pre-release event, and then the next weekend another pre-release event for a different set.
There is, according to the site, there's only 4 weeks between releases. I just feel like that's too close. I know Double Masters is literally just reprints, but July 8th And then the other one comes out June 10th, a day before my birthday. So, Baldur's Gate.
Not even a month.
Oh, okay.
No, they're not even doing
I thought
a full,
it was like the next weekend. I was under the impression it was literally like.
June 24th is when we get all the cards revealed.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't feel. I honestly don't feel like it's which I mean they've done it before. I think it's fine, just because. But it does suck for our store owner because you're like, you put all this money out for a set, you get all your money back, then you have to put it all back out one more time for another set, and then keep moving forward with stuff like that.
And with that too, there's also like preview for Double Masters 2022 begins literally 6 days after Baldur's Gate comes out. Like that's such a huge time frame to just like not work with.
I feel like they just keep pushing it. Like they're like, okay, you got this new set. Now let's just go ahead and work on the next set instead of letting that set, sit and marinate for a minute. They're like, no, let's just keep moving. We need to make money.
Something interesting to note: Dominaria United. Oh, this might be why they're doing that. So this is interesting. So if I'm reading this correctly, those two sets, Baldur's Gate and Double Masters 2022, they're going to be the only sets until September. They'll have the Warhammer Precons come out in August, but it's late August. They're not going to have another set till September, which is Dominaria United.
Which is still only 2 months away.
Yeah, it comes out. It has a worldwide release of September 9th.
So yeah, it's only 2 months away. I feel like that's just a normal thing.
Yeah, well,
normally normally they do a like a Commander Legends. They do something like that. Like they do a set. They do like a supplement set. They do another set. They do a supplement set. They do another set supplement, and then go on forward. And it works out where they do like 8 supplement sets, and like unlike last year though, last year they did like 4 supplement sets and 5 regular sets. This year they're doing 4 sets, 4 supplements, so it's like 1 each month and then 1 month off. And I think that's what they're doing this year. It's not a bad tactic, but it's just so much new magic. It keeps magic, alive, it keeps things going, but it's just so much new magic moving
we
constantly.
Saw something similar last year because they crammed like Strixhaven, Modern Horizons 2, and AFR almost all into like a 2 months.
And not even including like what they're doing with the decks that they do. Like they do those Pioneer decks, they do those Standard decks, and then like now they're going to be putting out just a Commander's deck, And it's just so much stuff they're going to be pushing out and doing. And it's just like, I don't know how. I mean, people are going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. You're going to buy it. Richard's going to buy it. Everybody's going to buy it.
I'm definitely going to get Double Masters.
So people are going to get it. The money's going to be there. It's just how long are they going to? Everybody going to keep buying it until they're like, I'm tired of all these new Magic sets constantly coming out.
I feel like August through about midway through July to about early September, they just don't really do much in August. Because last year they took they gave us a breather a little bit. I mean, when did Midnight Hunt release again? Midnight
it was
Hunt
October.
wasn't until Midnight Hunt.
No, September. It was September.
Hold on a minute. So Midnight Hunt started on September 24th. So they gave us about 2 months.
Theoretically, because I thought they were supposed to come out together, but I think some things got changed and it wasn't. They didn't come out together.
I mean, it wasn't even that big of a deal. They had less than a month between both of them just kind of joining in.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? Anything that you think you're gonna buy, like Dominaria United, Double Masters?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna get. I'm gonna definitely get stuff of everything. Double Masters, I'm definitely going to be getting probably a lot of collectors from that. Just because I do know some of the reprints they're going to put out is going to be good ones most likely. Dominaria United, if it's anything like original Dominaria, then it's going to be great. And hopefully it is. Hopefully they have a lot of good support for a lot of different things. Maybe ape support so we can get an ape deck. But
hold on, I didn't even see this. Starting in Dominaria, set boosters will come with a jumpstart booster. there will be set-themed Jumpstart packs. Like...
That's just another thing for them to make more money on.
It just feels like so much.
But I think that's a smart idea. The Jumpstart idea is a smart idea. I think it's a very good way to get people into the game. I think it's really smart because you can take 2 Jumpstart packs, make a small deck, get into the game. I think that's a very smart idea, but I do think, and I think them using that as a way of getting, putting out a set for that, like a whole box for that is something to do, but I think it should be its own thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say. As someone who literally got into Magic from Jumpstart, I liked the fact that I could go in, I could buy a Jumpstart, and regardless of what set it was, what theme it was, I knew I would be getting like something good to mash together. This feels so tacked onto me. It feels like just another way to just make money, especially that it's themed Jumpstart packs now. So it's going to be like, it's going to be with every standard set from now on. And that just does not interest me. Like, that
unless it's like taking the spot of the welcome packs or something like that, I don't think that's really the best idea.
We have Brothers War coming up in November.
I'm excited for Brothers War.
But
I'm really hoping that they reprint Urza Saga. Or not Urza Saga, Urza the Planeswalker. Or not the Planeswalker, the legendary creature.
I hope they do it in Double Masters, to be honest. I feel like...
They definitely probably could. They probably would do, but I don't know which one they would do it in. But I don't even know if they'd do it at all.
I feel like for Brothers War, they're going to make a new Urza.
Yeah, they're definitely going to, yeah.
I don't see a reason for them to reprint them.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'd probably definitely make a new Urza.
Like, I could see Double Masters. They need to reprint a lot of these older commanders. Because I'm starting to get really tired of looking at a commander and paying almost $80 for like a good version of
like a good old Ur-Dragon. They need to go ahead and reprint out Ur-Dragon right quick.
They need, honestly, I would not be too upset if they reprinted Edgar Markov in Double Masters.
I know a good handful of people who would be, but I don't know. I don't know if they'd ever mess with the commander decks like that, but.
Well, it says up here in their own article.
That's the thing I hate now is that commander decks are not safe anymore. Like, you can get commander out of a pack, and you're like, what's the point in buying the commander deck? You can get all the cards out of the commander deck that used to be commander deck only. You can just get them now. Yeah,
see, this is what they want. I feel like this is what they're pushing now. They've realized commander is such a profitable thing. Because this is what this says. The return of powerful and legendary cards for your next commander and eternal format decks. They're pushing commander so hard, and it feels borderline exhausting at this point.
I'm glad they're pushing commander, but I think that's what they realize is like, because a lot of people who was playing standard and stuff started playing on arena, and now they're just pushing commander. I could be wrong, but I think commander is a very good format. It's a great format to push. For a shop owner, I'd prefer people playing standard. I prefer people playing modern. I prefer people playing legacy because they need 4 copies of these cards. So me having 4 Meat Hook Massacres in my store is not going to hurt me, but having 4 Meat Hook Massacres that and I only have one person wanting one is going to hurt me compared to 4 people needing it for modern or legacy or standard or whatever,
I'll say this, Double Masters is probably going to be really expensive, first off.
Mm-hmm.
Second off, something interesting to note.
At least probably $300 a box. At least, probably.
Something interesting to note with this.
Because sorry to cut you off, but Magic went up 11% on MSRP and stuff.
Yeah, we're looking at $7 set boosters, $5 draft. No, but Double Masters 2022... Each rare and mythic rare will have a foil-etched version.
That's
so we're seeing even more of a saturation in the market that Gilded Foil brought.
I mean, if they put out a foil-etched version of a tutor, I will track it now and get it.
Which tutor would you want?
Honestly, if it's long as it's like Vampiric or Demonic or...
I feel like it's too soon to reprint.
Yeah, I don't wish they would.
I feel like it's really too soon for them to reprint almost any tutors?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, there's a few that probably could, like Idyllic Tutor could probably get reprinted. But I mean, it was in a list slot, so...
I'd like to see Enlightened Tutor get reprinted.
Yes,
Enlightened Tutor needs a reprinting.
Yeah, I mean, Enlightened Tutor also got put in list slot too. So, but it could get reprinted. I would love to see some of these older.
I can see you get printed double masters.
I would love to see a lot of different stuff get reprinted. Like some more, looks like they're trying to push more Sliver stuff. I'd love to see more Slivers get reprinted.
A lot of people are talking about them probably taking the Tyranid box from this Warhammer card.
Yeah, I definitely see that being a Sliver.
They're saying they're gonna just switch over Slivers. I think that's really boring. I'd like to see them maybe do like, bro, throw it back. Do hominids. Like, dude.
Well, I really do hope.
something
I do
else.
hope with this 40K set they don't go like this is a Tyranid class. That's it. Kind of like how they did with Magic, how they did with the Walking Dead set, and they were walkers. They wasn't zombies. They were walkers.
Yeah.
So you couldn't play them in a zombie deck because they would not count as zombies. So like you could have a good card here, but they're not going to help you out because they're not zombies. They're only walkers. They're only going to help with certain walkers.
Something interesting to note is I think they're already kind of stepping away from that. Because if you look at the commander decks, obviously one of these isn't a traditional, but the typical thing for Space Marines that we've seen so far is Astartes Warrior. So, you know, if you've got a red or white one, you can use it in what's that deck that benefits off of warriors attacking? You can use it in Warrior Tribal, regardless. So like even though they're Astartes, you can still use Warrior Tribal as something, and they're reprinting Fabricate in more than likely in the I can definitely see the Imperium one because this is Forces of the Imperium. I can definitely see it being centered around artifacts, mainly because
I love artifacts.
I don't know why they would put Fabricate in there if they were not focusing on like the 40K Imperium aspect of artifacts and creation stuff, because Fabricate, 2 colors and a blue, search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle.
Fabricate, Baker's man.
I would like to see them lean more into the Necrons being like that, because they are literal fucking metal warriors that sound just like mirrors.
I feel like Necrons are definitely going to be zombies.
Well, they're mono black.
And I think it's going to be a really good zombie deck, but I don't know.
It's mono black. It's the first monocolored commander deck you can buy pre-constructed, which is
Is it?
Yep.
Not the first.
This can't be the
The
first.
2014 decks.
2014 decks?
Yeah, they were mine.
That's right, the Planeswalker commanders. Yep.
2014 decks.
This will be the first one in
Maybe a reprint on the medallions?
in 7 years. This will be the first one in 7 years.
So,
Oh god, if they did medallions. I think the only reason they wouldn't do medallions is only one of them has green.
well,
I hope the Tyranid one. I do hope it functions similar to how we saw the Cavaretti's function, where you're just getting buffs for like swarms.
I really do hope they keep a lot of the new cards just to these. Like, it don't get reprinted in a set or anything like that. Maybe a secret lair or whatever, but not in a set. Like, if you're getting it either through this deck or you're getting it through the secret lair. That's it. Like, you're not getting it because the next set after it is going to reprint some of the cards in it. And that's the great thing about not having it in a set, in my opinion.
The whole thing. Wait, what? No. Okay, so Fabricate actually isn't in the deck. It's a promo card, and you can only get your hands on it if you go to your local game store on launch day. Actually, genuinely hate that.
Well, luckily we're a local game store that you could get one from.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, as long as you come on launch day.
Listen, man.
Because look, I'm going to be honest with you, Tyler. I'm not giving you one unless you come on launch day.
I'm buying 2 cases of it. I think you could set one aside for me.
Sir. We are not trying to get our WP and taken away from us.
That is so pretty. Just genuinely, I think some of my favorite art that Wizards has done in a really long time. He just looks so nice.
So we talked about
Here, open this
this.
one.
So I guess we can go ahead and move on to some other games. We'll come back. We can move our way back to Magic if that happens. Let's talk about MetaZoo for just a moment. If you don't know what MetaZoo is, it is the next up-and-coming game. It has a lot of following. It has a lot of big people behind it. me and Richard both are very big followers of it. We definitely are like very into it. We spend too much money on it. Probably more money on that. I probably spend more money on it than Magic, Richard.
Recently more Metazu.
Yeah. So tomorrow is Friday the 13th. They're going to be releasing a skateboard. That's pretty exciting. We are.
What is the skateboard?
So it's a small box. It comes with like 2 cards. One of the skateboard you're getting, and one of that's just another promo card. Kind of like the pin boxes. You probably haven't seen the pin boxes, but kind of like that. They're very. Like the first set they ever did was very cool. They had very awesome skateboards. This is the second one. It looks like it's going to be more Nightfall, which is the second set of Metazu. Tyler has not played Metazu. He don't know a whole lot about Metazu, but hopefully through this podcast and this experience we have together, he's going to learn a lot more about Metazu. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm very excited about. I'm definitely going to try to get at least 1, if not 2. But I'm honestly, if they're going to be $100 a piece or more, then I'm probably just going to shoot for getting 1. But yeah, so I'm very excited about it. I do hate that a lot of stuff is selling out super quickly. I do hate that they keep putting out just stuff on its own, but I'm very excited about some of this stuff that is coming out. Me and Richard, I think both were able to get our hands on a good handful of the eBay boxes and stuff. We were able to get a good handful on some of this other stuff. But yeah, honestly though, with the skateboards, the one I would probably want the most, besides the Devil, is maybe the Grim Reaper, but also maybe what's the name of that?
The Manta Ray one?
Yeah, the Manta Ray one.
That's
probably the one I'd want the most, just because I play blue so much. But
I definitely like
Richard most likely is gonna want the Grim Reaper if I'm.
Oh, definitely Grim Reaper.
I don't know. I really want that.
The red ghost looks cool too.
The red. This one right here.
That one, what that is?
That's the red ghost right there.
Yeah, I know.
This one right here. If I get the promo card for that, I'm like.
That's gotta be worth some money.
That's probably the chase of this one.
The chase.
The what is his name? What's his name? Scratch. Old Scratch.
Old Scratch, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be the chase. I feel like, and I'm very, very wanting that one the most. But yeah, I'm very excited about that. Richard, your thoughts?
Oh, I'm very excited about it. I think it looks really cool. I'm glad that they're doing it for every set as what it looks like.
Let's talk about Smokey the Bear though for a second.
Ooh, Smokey the Bear promo?
I really hate that it's coming just to Target, because Target is about 40 minutes from us.
Yeah,
the nearest Target. Is there one? There might be one 30 minutes away, actually. Or 20 minutes away. I don't know. I gotta do some research. But I'm very much wanting the Smokey the Bear promo.
Have you seen what it is yet?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No.
I'm very excited for this stuff. I mean, I was able to get a fan art blister just because Richard was able to help me out and get me one. But I'm very aggravated with some of these scalpers grabbing stuff, because it really don't help the people who are playing the game and wanting to play the game and wanting to get into the game, wanting to collect the game, be able to get the stuff they want. But I'm glad that they're trying to change it up where scalpers can't keep jumping onto it and stuff. But yeah, if you haven't played Metazu, it's definitely a fun game. If you guys, like I mentioned before, Flashpoint Games is affiliated with Metazu. That is our store. We are an official store for them. We do hold events. Most times they're on Saturdays. If you just check us out, we'll be there. But is there any finishing notes anybody wants to leave off on about any of the stuff we talked about today? Anything that maybe didn't get said that we should discuss a little bit, or anything before that?
I don't think it's really related to news. I definitely want to say, with like the 40K secret layers, I will be buying collector's edition. I will be buying 2 boxes of them. I'm probably not going to alter them in any way. I really just want to leave them in their purest state. Whether that means the Necron one is just so terrible and unrunnable because it's one color, that's fine. I I think honestly, if I'm looking at them from what I know about them so far and just looking at them, I think the Ruinous Powers of the Chaos one is definitely going to be the weakest. Abaddon's good. Like, okay, me and Richard play Commander quite frequently. We both build decks.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, 2 colorless, a blue, black, and red, or Grixis. Abaddon says he has Trample, he's a 5/5, and he says, during your turn, spells you cast from your hand with mana value X or less have Cascade, where X is the total amount of life your opponents have lost this turn. Is that something you, like, do you think it can be good? Do you think it would be, like, something powerful to build around? Or do you think it's one of those more stompy, really weird workaround commanders?
Is it spells?
So it's spells you cast from your hand with mana value X or less have Cascade.
So that could be creatures or anything.
It could literally be anything you want it to be. So basically, as long as your opponents lose life, which I think if you pair with stuff like at the beginning of your upkeep, like your Shrines deck,
Upkeep damage.
upkeep damage is definitely where you want to do, like, you know, like with
Because
the
it totals up the damage, it's not per opponent.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like another good thing too is this just says during your turn, so it's not even limited to your.
To one
You
card.
could literally just go to combat and attack, and if they let the damage go through, that's how much of an advantage you have.
Yeah.
I mean, if let's just say Abaddon gets through, which is great that he has Trample. It's great that he's a 5/5, which means he's not going to die to Bolt. He's only going to get exiled, really, like
Yeah.
pathed. So I feel like if you're building him around that, I think you could go either way. You could go combat centric or upkeep
I
triggers.
think it'd be a very interesting. I don't know. I think it'd be a very interesting Cascade deck.
I think this is really interesting. Man, could you imagine you deal like 11 damage and you get Blood for the Blood God cascaded? Blood for the Blood God is 8 colorless, a black,
Oh, the name
and
is perfect.
a red. Spell costs 1 less cast for each creature that died this turn. You discard your hand, you draw 8 cards, and it deals 8 damage to each opponent. I mean, that right there, that is the total amount of life your opponent's lost. You cast Blood for the Blood God. Anything in your hand with mana value 24 or less has Cascade. Just from
That's-
you playing that one card in your main phase.
God, this could be so good.
Yeah, it's really good, and you're definitely going to have to do some weird triggers. For me, I love the symbol they chose.
Yes, I love that symbol.
The skull and the wings is just so 40k and kill team to me. It blends so perfectly. I think the Tyranids one is going to be the strongest. I think there's almost no way.
Well, Tyranids is the strongest right now in 40k anyway.
uh,
One of the strongest.
Yeah.
Definitely a strong color combination.
I think I haven't seen this color combination a lot. I was actually going to ask you earlier this week about what decks you would even build with green, blue, red. But yeah, I think the Tyranid one definitely has the potential to be the big heavy hitter of this one.
I think I'm gonna get the Necrons though.
You think Necrons? Just the mono black Necrons just draw you in?
I'll
It probably won't be
get
the
them
best, but I think that's the one I would get.
Forces of the Imperium interests me.
I
See,
do like Esper.
I will say though, I don't like this practice. The problem is they chose to implement this with the decks that I want the most, which I think it was their plan. They knew that people like me who play 40k mainly are going to gravitate towards getting these collector's editions because we don't want to buy Magic that much. A lot of the people who are going to get these aren't going to be in the hobby of Magic. They know that these 4 decks are probably going to sit on somebody's like shelf and just look nice.
Yeah.
And, that is the reality of it. And the fact that I'm probably going to buy 2 of them just because I want those Scourge foils out of the box. But I also want this intact for my Warhammer shelf. I think they know what they're doing, definitely, because as a player who plays Magic and as someone who doesn't, I see the best of it. And it's phasing this out almost. But I guarantee, this Commander deck is going to be $50 to $60 for each one almost. So I definitely see a huge increase in price.
$50-$60 for each one, definitely.
50, 60.
Alright guys, that'll be it for the WarpCast. Thank you for joining me, James.
Me, Richard.
And me, Tyler. Don't forget to check out our Patreon.